Meanwhile, back at the Justice Hall.
Listen up, geeks from around the mundo. All the mother commentators know it's tan profundo. Everybody say the same things. All the theories mad lame. Never been together from the city that bang bang. Everybody on the streets.
We the LatinGeeX.
Everybody on the streets.
We the LatinGeeX.
Comics, movie, TV.
We the LatinGeeX.
All the content on your screen.
We the LatinGeeX.
New Eureka Nightwing.
We the LatinGeeX.
Robert Reels, that's me.
We the LatinGeeX.
Jerry DIAZ.
We the LatinGeeX.
Everybody on the team. Somos LatinGeeX.
Everywhere you go and everybody, like, it's like this motherfucker, this orange turds makes it okay for everybody to be an asshole,
to be a dick.
and it's like, dude, like, you don't.
That's
That's
fucked
why I'm glad about the fucking Superman shit. At least the whole kind of cool.
His whole character. I think this is just what we wanted with Henry Cavill too. You know, like,
Yeah.
I think had you come at this angle with this Superman, and at the end he had to kill Zod, it would have been way more acceptable because it would have been like, oh no, like he had to do it
Yeah,
because
no
he was gonna.
choice.
But in this, it was just like it just felt like, well, it was just a choice.
Well, you know what, Jerry? That's just the most natural fucking segue ever, because you know what? That's it. I've had it.
What? The whole time?
The whole
you've
time.
I
The
thought you
whole
were Nightwing.
time. Well, guess what? Nightwing is from fucking Krypton too, motherfuckers.
What?
Word. Hey, Jerry. What up? Welcome
What up, Big
back.
Rob? What up, Rob?
You know
Welcome
what?
back.
You know what? Welcome back to the DCU, motherfuckers. We told you.
Go.
We told you.
It's
We
time.
told you.
We've been patiently waiting for the return of the rain.
You know what? It's about time, and there's only two other superheroes that I rock over Nightwing. Batman, and it started all with the motherfucking Superman. That's for sure.
The Jesus of it all.
He is. You know, he's the last son.
So, I mean, first of all, can we talk about
Son of no.
Son of Jorello?
Son of
Anyway.
Jor-El.
So before you get to the movie, okay, before you get into your analytical whatever, I want you to tell me first, what were your expectations, or how did you feel going in? Like, were your expectations low? Were you faking hypeness? I mean, there was enough material out there for you to see, you know, what to expect. But were you really going in there with low expectations, or were you going in there with like, listen, this guy better fucking deliver?
I went there with an open heart, open mind, and you know, we've been saying this entire time in all these 3 episodes that got lost in the Matrix that you guys will never see, to let James cook, and he cooked, and that's it. And I was like, you know what? I tried to do the same thing with Fantastic Four, and we'll get into that later. Like, try to avoid the trailers up until a certain point, because I'm tired of these trailers giving away the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then even when you're trying to avoid them, they sneak them in anyway with the freaking ads between YouTube. I'm like, no.
And then you know, and it's, you know what sucks is, like, you know, some of the key element plots were revealed ahead of time.
As a comic book fan, you already know what these plots are going to lead into.
You knew some of it, but I kind of wanted the movie to tell me, you know, when I was watching it. And and it's not a big deal because it didn't ruin the experience for me, but like finding about, like, I knew about the portals before watching, like, oh, these are portals. So when they tried to describe what it was, I was like, oh, I'm already there because I saw that this was coming. Yeah, just a couple of little things like that I wish I would have been surprised as I saw the movie. Maybe even some of the cameos that appeared. Other than that, I kind of went in. First of all, like we had talked about, let James Gunn cook, let him cook. But I also feel, you know, and
Michelin star chef right there.
Yeah, not to jump ahead, because I'm not going to jump ahead as far as the Superman movie, the stuff that we're going to talk about. But you know, in watching the movie, right, and knowing what we know about what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So the thing with
Making
Marvel,
the obscure cool.
Right, like the thing that was cool about Marvel at one point, but ended up shooting it in the head, was the fact that, Yeah, they're telling these stories like they're part of this universe, but they had hired so many different directors, so many super talented directors that had all these different visions of what they felt comic books were, or even telling the story. And also, so many movies where so many directors was out that they it was hard for them to keep timelines. You know, what movie happened here, what's canon, what's not, blah blah blah.
Or trying to make it not comic-y and cool, but instead of
Right,
leaning
just make
into
it
the source
like a
material.
regular film, correct? So, and Kevin Feige, I guess he was heading all of this, but he was also coming at it from the producer. He's not the person that's putting these stories together. He's just overlooking it. He's seeing what's going on, and he, for the most part, he did a good job until the multiple timelines thing got messy and whatever, and then everybody just got like Marvel overload, and it was too much. Now, saying that, knowing what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, and now knowing what he has done, not only with Superman, right, but the tone of Creature Commandos, the tone of the Suicide Squad, the movies that
The
he's helmed,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, they all have the same tone. Now, it's not a tone of like none of the characters in that world take themselves too seriously, but at the same time, there's an element of childlike vibrancy and wonder when it's like what comic books are supposed to be, colorful and I know some of the stuff is supposed to be, like some of the Batman stuff is darker and a little bit more broody and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're talking about the overall world of DCU or building a comic book world, what he has done and the way that he has set up everything with the tone, the colors, I'm excited, so going in, and I really went in there with an open heart, feeling hoping like, I from what I had seen, I said, okay, this looks like it's just gonna be like it's not gonna be a Superman that's trying to do too much. Like
He's not overpowered yet.
yeah, like Henry was great, and I know he's your favorite, but I also
Not
know like
anymore.
but I also know like, if you see him in the movie, he was so jacked up and like he was so bulked up
And
and,
jacked off.
and you wish he was so big in that shit, like, it's almost like he was a superhero, and then just the serious tone of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like it was almost
Like they OD'd with his muscle suit because yes, he was jacked, but he was also like muscle padded with the suit. And then
yeah.
I think the addition back of the trunks kind of made it more. It added that extra layer, no pun intended. But like honestly, the whole debate of trunks, no trunks, it's like it it
And look, this kid wasn't listen, this kid is not when you saw him as Clark Kent, he wasn't a skinny mini either. You understand what I'm saying?
no,
This kid but also he wasn't
he's a
bulked up,
corn-fed Kansas boy.
but he wasn't bulked up to the point of like, you know, Jesus, his chest is gonna pop. Yeah, when you saw Henry Cavill, it was like, okay. But the thing is, it sort of doesn't make sense for Superman to be that jacked because he's
Yeah.
Superman. There's nothing that makes him be, work out his muscles as much. He has to like work out with like planets and shit or something. I don't
Yeah,
know,
like he's just naturally strong and he's defined, but not like super jacked just because you
Right.
know it's not like Thor when he's like lifting the montage weights because he does.
Like to me, Batman would make more sense to be completely jacked because he has no powers and he's probably
Yeah,
obsessed
he's
with
he's
trying to be as strong as
literally
possible.
jumping
Yeah.
off of fucking buildings and
Yeah.
calisthenics. All of his muscles actually feel the reaction of getting hit
Actually, yeah, man,
and
he's a human being. But
you
anyway,
know.
enough about Batman because we go talk about Batman enough. Let's get on topic here. Let's talk
Let's get
about
it on. All right. So honestly, so right off the bat, like
also because are we talking Marvel today? Because
we'll get to
there's
the
a
Marvel
movie
minute.
going. There's a movie that's running parallel with Superman.
A parallelogram? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what if we have time for it
For
later.
that, oh, is
Hmm.
that little foreplay?
It's a little foreshadowing.
Oh my God! Put away your foreskin. Okay, I got carried away.
I don't have
Now,
any.
oh, okay.
Anyway, so
Snip boys. Hey,
team cut.
now that
Speak,
you know, now that our audience knows, let's
you
cut to
know,
the chase.
let's cut to the chase. Anyway, you bunch of moils. I right off the bat, like the from when the trailer came out, like it got me. The second he was like, "Eyes up here," he literally got me because I was looking at my phone and he said that. I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
daddy. Yes, daddy." No, no, but like, I mean, it's Superman, so it's like,
Yeah.
my bad. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Let me give him his propers. Right off the bat, I was hooked. This is the first time I've ever seen that Clark Kent and Superman looked completely different.
Completely different.
And regardless of the, hypno glasses, whatever, which is canon in some iterations
It
and
is.
stuff.
It is. And you know what? I'd rather have that than the unexplainable. Like, oh yeah, it's just the glasses.
It,
This
it
makes more sense. We're already talking about superheroes. Might as well have hypnotic glasses.
exactly, and that kind of makes it make more sense. But you look at the Clark Kent, the curls and everything, and then you see next to like compared to this,
Completely
you
different guy. Completely
completely
different
different
guy.
guy.
Different energy. Everything.
Anyone that wears glasses, you know that that's true.
Right.
People will be like, "Oh, wait, I didn't recognize you without your glasses." Or,
Correct.
"Oh, like, you know how many times I literally walked into a place that I was a vendor at, literally was there like 2 days, 3 days before, and I didn't have glasses on. I had my hair out. 2 days later, I went by there, I had a hat on, and I had my glasses. They had no idea who the fuck I was.
It was like, this is another
But they
guy.
went along with it. They were like,
Sure.
"Oh, yeah," but I completely saw it in their faces like,
He must have sent his assistants.
like,
Yeah.
not even. It's like people don't realize that they've met me a bunch of times. Obviously, I have a lot of different looks for whatever occasion. And
You're unforgettable no matter
I
what.
know, especially us as Latinos and minorities and people of color, we are so used to blending in, to being
Yeah.
unseen. That service energy that we're kind of accustomed to, that role with feeling. You can be seen but not heard, or not even that. Your presence should be felt but not seen,
Not seen. Right. Yeah.
Like we are often like labeled as less than, or make you that's really why Superman always kind of appeals to us as immigrants, or sons and daughters of immigrants, because that is our story. That's our daily life. We see
Yeah.
that. We see our parents, struggling to work or make ends meet or to make a name for themselves, or you see the people that are nepo babies, or the people that are billionaires, or millionaires or whatever, because they have the means, they get to do all these things that we have to fight for, that they get just automatically handed to them. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, it's like we have to fight for every little scrap at the table. We come into this and it's like we see that story that he's literally an alien, and that's what we get treated as. Meanwhile, he's the definition of alien. Meanwhile, we're just from a place that's by on an imaginary line. And in some cases, people that have been living in that same area for generations, but just because this country took it over in the 1800s, all of a sudden they're illegal. Like, nah, like we've always been here. So, why wouldn't we feel welcome? So why can't we shine? Why can't we get the same things given to us, because our families have worked just as hard, if not harder? We're the ones that built this country.
Question.
Answer.
Do you think
I'm going on a tangent? Yes.
No. Yes. But do you think,
I think a lot. I think about a
X-Men,
lot of things.
Marvel, X-Men, those, they all went hard on the whole like immigrant, different, even gay, possibly woke representation, right, of things.
Not my Superman. My Superman ain't woke.
But I'm just saying Marvel, right? Okay. Do you think is that why Marvel, because of the way that society shifted and they're thinking of even of immigrants and of everything, do you think that maybe that's what shifted in the interest also
I think
what
that's what
Marvel's
affecting their marketing. That's why they're underplaying things like Ironheart, which was, oh my God,
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
And mind you, the way
Like,
that they shot it with so many restrictions, because this was shot during COVID. This is
mhm,
old.
yeah.
And
And
what they did with that, it was pretty good. Yeah.
But and then the way they tried to downplay it, but it was like one of the low-key best things that they've done, period, since the original Iron Man. And it's like, and then even, well, we'll save that for the Marvel minute. Anyway,
Yeah.
for Superman, I right off the bat felt like this was the best way to reintroduce the character. Just go full on comic source material and lean into those things that made no sense but somehow worked, like the Playboy Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, it's canon. He has a list of baddies that he's gotten with. Even just like the characterizations of Lumbar Yo, shout out to
Beck Bennett
kind of
from
said it both.
SNL. Yeah.
Yes, it was like watching a cartoon character come to life, and that's what a lot of these iterations were. So you would like literally, it felt like we were watching the
My
My
Adventures with
Adventures of
Superman,
Superman, but like real, like
real life.
the '90s one. It felt like these iconic characters come to life, the bright and colorful over characterizations, but like it
Yeah.
worked for the new like wave of medium. They integrated it as a current medium without it being corny that people worked at a
Newspaper.
newspaper. You forgot that there was a newspaper. We got a classic, no bullshit Lois Lane that like
Who's perfectly casted, by the way. Great
perfect
casting. Great casting.
chef's kiss. Like now the best
From
Lois
from
Lane.
from from over from all her work that she's done, you know, and looking at I was like, who else could you have picked to have played this part? You
I'd say it
know?
was a marvelous
Yeah. Oh,
choice
ooh,
for this miss.
yeah, yeah. That's good. I like
You
that.
know,
That was good.
to be honest, I never did watch Marvelous Miss Maisel. It was one of those shows that my ex watched, so I was like, "Fuck that, I don't want to watch it."
Well,
But
I'm homies with my boy Michael Zegan, who played Mr. Maisel on the show.
Mr. Maisel,
That's right.
hey,
Joel Maisel.
hey, but
But yeah, I want to piggyback on something that you said. When you first pick up a comic book, right? When you first start reading a comic book, you never start at edition number one. You
no,
never, it's always in the middle of
yeah, you
this
always just pick it up
universe.
somewhere.
You just pick it up
You
somewhere
just
and then you,
drop right in, unless
right.
it's like a limited series or like or one of those like re
But even as a kid, you
introduction
don't,
events, like like after the Infinite Crisis or New 52 or whatever. Yes,
I
there are certain people who
mean,
have, but
but
yes,
I'm just saying to
even then, though, you dropped in
the casual
the
child that
casual
doesn't know,
reader.
let's say the child that falls in love with comics for the first time and seeing a comic book for the first time, you're never reading issue number one, and it's always a
Rarely,
piece, it's a piece of a story. And now you're like, wait, I gotta go find the other ones before and the ones after, at least the ones after. I gotta keep this story
yeah,
going, right? And you're introduced to all these characters and stuff, but I always find it's like jumping in the middle of an already established
yeah.
world instead of
Even
trying
if
to.
it's like a limited series or like a new reader, it's always whoop, you're
So it's
diving
always
right in.
exciting, right? It's always exciting because you're diving right in because you're playing the game of catch up, but as you're seeing everything going, and you make your own context. Yeah, and you're making
Mustard.
and you're making your own context out of everything, right? So I think in that aspect, starting the movie, how he started the movie, it's already in the middle of this world. So many things are going on. As a matter of
Three
fact,
weeks ago, we
it's
saw
a
Superman.
it's a matter of fact, it's like
3 minutes ago, we started this podcast.
right, like
3 seconds ago, I lit up.
yay, you're lighting up, man. But no, it's one of those things where it's like you start in the middle of the story. He's getting beat up. First of all, a different way to start a Superman story, which is Superman losing, getting like bloody. Like
Yeah?
there's usually has to be a build up for that kind of shit. And then when you come to realize, like, oh shit, I'm about to experience the whole movie because the only footage that's been released was the opening moments of the movie. So I'm about to get, you know what I mean?
Side note, sometimes my algorithm doesn't know what language to put my commercials in, so sometimes it's in English and sometimes it's in Spanish.
Right.
So I'll have one TV in English, but the other TV's in Spanish. They have played the Superman trailer in Spanish.
Hey amigo,
Oh shit.
quiero que me veas.
So watching it speak in Spanish was great.
Yeah. That's great. But yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like it's so much more fun now. You're jumping in, him getting beat up, and that there's other
You see,
superheroes.
he's fallible. He's not perfect.
There's other superheroes there. There's been a history of other heroes there. You're literally entering the world with Superman, and now you don't have to you're not doing the same origin story because everybody knows the origin story. But instead of entering that way, you're entering it when he's kind of broadening his appeal to the world, right? Because he had just
Yeah.
stopped the war. That was such a smart and
Even
comic dude.
Fantastic Four, for not doing the origin, still did an origin.
Absolutely. They still had contextual explanation of things. But again, that's what those movies serve for, because that's the Marvel formula, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to do the origin story, so then that could be canon to whatever's happening to the rest of the shit. Now, yeah, with DC,
They just made a whole bunch of shit canon that has been canon that nobody knew about,
that
like
nobody knew
especially in
about.
that, like that mural in the Justice. Meanwhile, at the Justice Society,
Yeah,
or they finally released the high definition version of
I
it.
saw the picture.
Oh my
Yeah,
god! And I was like, "What?
but it's
Who the
also
hell
in,
are these people?
but
Wow,
it's
I never
it,
knew any of these people existed
but
until
it's
today."
also in a timeline.
It's also the timeline, and it's like all of these third
Heroes,
property mediums that were existing in the same time of, that are now like canon to this universe that they're establishing, and it's like obscure characters that set the foreground for all of these other heroes, when not focusing on the major arc, Holy Trinity. So
right?
now inserting this Holy Trinity into just now, okay,
Making
like you said, we're
making
diving
super
right in.
making Superman that much more intriguing of a
Intriguing and
character.
interesting.
Meaning, like, it's like, all right, for sports fans, it's like you have the development of basketball, right? Of the league and the players, right? And all of a sudden you get a Jordan who's like extraordinary, right? But he's also a person that had to work really, really hard to get there. But then you all of a sudden come across and create a LeBron James. It was inevitable.
Right?
You understand?
Exactly, because
And
of
that's
the
like because of how the
influence.
and also right, and also because of, like, let's say, the genetic evolution of what the heroes were becoming. So ultimately at a certain point there had to be a hero that's gonna have it all, which is Superman, and that only adds to the intrigue of, you know, he's not really a metahuman, but because he was raised here on the planet, his parents give
That's
him
what makes me human.
exactly his parents give him his humanity, and also the whole golly gee, it's okay. I think it's okay. And many people found that the corny part of Superman, the golly, oh gee, golly, I don't want to. I'm trying to do the right thing and
Uh-huh.
always trying to do
The
even
Boy
when.
Scout.
But I think that's what makes him, because he can do whatever he's. I've just remember reading stories of Superman that he is so righteous within himself, like that he to his own detriment. Like he had to do things to hurt himself because it was the right thing to do,
He
even
took on the
though
he took on the brunt of the things so that we didn't have to. I'm
you
sorry.
understand.
Yeah.
Like he literally, but he would, but also like what I'm saying.
Hashtag save the squirrel.
He would take on things like, let's say, like if you had any common sense, you would just be like, hey, it's just on me. I don't have to confess. He was so righteous. He's like, nah, I have to like even him always turning himself into the government, allowing himself to be arrested
Letting
when he
that
was.
guy throw the cup at his head without
Mhm.
burning his head, like two holes
Which was
through
so
his.
funny. Remember when the first they had to change
They had
that
to
because
edit out the
he,
flinch.
he flinched. He flinched. He flinched. He flinched. But
He just
yeah,
blinked.
so that was beautiful to see, just jumping into that world right away. The building of the characters, um the real canon, like
They edited that blink out quicker than they edited out Sue Storm's pregnancy bump.
they really, like, even Green Lantern, Guy Gard, like, just yeah, they really went canon with it. I'm interested in
Full bowl
seeing.
cut. Full bowl cut.
I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with Peacemaker, and how they're probably gonna merge the two worlds.
It is going to deal with the multiverse, not specifically the universe that was the DCEU, but other things. He's still just jumping into other universes, not necessarily the DCEU verse, but it's there. That's kind of what they're trying to establish.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that a good, nice way to, like, bring over the canon stuff from the DCEU that happened, that Gunn is going to
We'll
keep
see.
using,
We'll see.
which it is. But what I'm saying, a good maneuver would be if that Peacemaker, you don't have to see the DCU because he's coming
The
from that
Riker
world,
maneuver.
but he comes in and he takes over, right, for the new Peacemaker, and gets him out of there. Like, it'll be like a joke, because then we're still following the one that we know
Yeah.
from the other world, but now he's
We'll
in,
see.
you know.
TBD.
Yeah. Superman fighting a kaiju in a movie. How
Superman,
about
what you call
that?
me? What the hell did you call me?
How
No,
about that?
the kaiju was great and trying to save him. He's like, I want to take him to an intergalactic zoo.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like respecting life and its various forms and other beings is not a weakness. It's actually a strength. It's actually what makes us human, because the other way, which is literally where this world is turning, it's like it's disgusting and it's just really ugly out there. And it's like, for those of us, those eternal optimists, or the empaths of the world, or the people that try to do good, that constantly get the shaft because of whatever bullshit.
I don't always get the shaft. You sometimes get the shaft, but
I
get
give the shaft more than I get it, but like I only get it like twice a year.
TMI. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
I'm just saying, like, we just used to people like screwing us over and like taking advantage of, taking credit for our stuff, or like we get tired, and it's good to see that the archetype, which is Superman, it still stands for what
something good. Yeah,
something good, something that's inspiring, and
it doesn't have to be corny. It doesn't have to be right.
And even the corniness is okay. That's what we fell in love with the character to begin with. And yes, he's a big blue Boy Scout. And it's funny because he's always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, or that golly gee. I just think that it's needed in a time like now, because everything else we're seeing is just fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck them, fuck everybody together, like Love Island this. I just think that it's a return to what really the American dream is about, or, just being good, for the sake of being
fun.
good.
They're movies. They're fun.
Escapism.
They're about, it's not everything has a message. It's you could watch the shit with your kids. There's so many positive things about it that it's just like, this is what it's supposed to be about. And I think this is what right now is what's unclicking here and messing up on the other side with the more, like, with what's going on at well, we'll talk about it more of a minute, whatever.
Yeah, but even that, like, just it's not. That's why it's not gelling with those who are naturally like geared in hatreds right now, because that's really what Superman's about. Like, how the hell you not know? You're saying, whoa, Superman is woke. Superman is not woke. Superman is Superman. That's always having a code, or is having standards, or having
Jesus is woke.
Like, like, and then yes, it's compared to a Christ story, but like regardless, just that good for the sake.
Jesus was a democratic socialist.
For the sake of doing good, Mr. Jerry Gutfield. But like,
all wonderful things, by the way.
Right? Yeah, but just good for the sake of doing good. Like,
sorry that you have empathy for another human being.
Right? Like,
that's
sorry.
Crazy.
Just because they're not, they live on the other side of the world. Like,
but Rob, it's funny because I was just I was having this conversation, and we were talking about, like, people were asking me like what comedy, like about the state of comedy, what comedy is, or like how do I feel about what's going on with comedy and people being sensitive and all this stuff. And all I could think about it was like, how people now think that being mean is being funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the last thing that makes you like, if you're being mean, it's not gonna be funny, but it's like,
I saw some video about that on Instagram. Like, the guy was clowning. He's like, "Oh, look at you with your baby blue drawers." It's like, what's so? I have baby blue drawers on. Like, oh, and then he's like, "Nah, you can't take a joke." He's like, "That's not a joke. That's not even funny. It's like, you're just saying what color drawers I have on. That's like not. You're just making an observation. What's the joke? Say something funny and I'll laugh. But like, you're just being a dick."
I was having an argument with a dude, and seriously, I was having an argument with a dude, and he was like, "Oh, because I was talking about, like, instead of like insulting audience members because they're not laughing, mind you, not heckling, they're just not laughing at your joke, and you singling them out, try to make them laugh, like, And then someone told me, "Oh, if you can't, you can't take the heat and all this other stuff." He's like, for my birthday, I got Michael Blackson tickets, and I sat right up front, hoping I get roasted. I'm like, well, that's called masochism. That's something else, because that's not comedy, And I, like, again, it's like people think that when they hear you do stand-up comedy, they do this thing and they get very like when they hear I do comedy, people sometimes get like they're trying to be funny, but they also get like snippy or
Most
aggressive.
people's
They get
introduction to
aggressive.
comedy is a snapping contest, and
Yeah, they're
it's
very
everything.
aggressive.
Not all types of comedy has to be a snapping
They
contest,
want to
and
snap on me right away. Like, first of all, don't do that to a stand-up comedian, because I'm gonna eat you up. I got jokes for days. But the other thing is like, comedy isn't putting somebody else down. That's not comedy is not, but you got people like Kevin Hart and all these people like, again, no, not to shit on Kevin Hart or whatever, because he's good at what he does. But at this moment in time, he hasn't done a stand-up special in a long time. And all he does is when he goes to places, he's just roasting people, or they're roasting, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
it's low hanging fruit. It's like there's
people think
easy jokes,
and they think that that's what's
and
comedy. And
that
again, it's
exactly.
funny, but
It's
that's
funny
not what
because it's
comedy is.
popular. It's popular because of the 5 second, to 3 second clips of it's gonna be funny on Instagram. It's gonna be funny on TikTok.
Or these guys doing crowd work. Like really,
Yeah.
it's insulting to comedians that have been working on the craft for years and years. And I'm not that crowd work isn't a craft, and not that crowd work, but at the same token, there's people that are spending months, years working on their material, working on 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour to get a special, to do these things. And now they're not as popular as, as some kid that has some quick comebacks, with all, because at the same time, like,
Or shock value.
you're putting up clips of crowd work because you don't want people to see your material. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want them to see your material. You just show the crowd work. Now people, but now guess what? When people come to your show, they're expecting you to do crowd work.
It's about time, and I think that's the thing. Literally, Superman is literally coming in to save the day, and it's good to
great
it
movie.
gives us people that are always been of that, because let's be real,
it fulfilled that Superman
us,
hunger. Fulfilled that Superman hunger.
yeah.
That. So first of all, Brandon Routh, it was a beautiful, nice little appetizer or like right, but it was
and Henry Cavill
it was very heavy.
Even better, a nice morsel.
But no, but Brandon Routh was still very heavy tasting of Christopher Reeves. So it was like, okay. And then Henry Cavill, it was great, and it was a nice meaty steak. But at the same token, it came with vegetables like asparagus or some weird like sprouts instead of mashed potatoes.
So
you understand what I'm saying? Hello.
Yes.
You came on sprouts. So so people like the steak with the sprouts, but it wasn't with the potatoes. You understand? It wasn't with the potatoes. And this right here,
meat and potatoes.
This right here is a good old fashioned cheeseburger with fries, cheeseburger deluxe with fries.
That's what I had this morning.
And this is like, again, the kid. I like the fact that the kid is an unknown. I think that was a great choice. I think also giving a brand new actor a brand new chance to give it a brand new like life into it.
Mr. Cornsweet, if you're nasty.
And he looks like an everyday kid, which he should. And I love that Superman looks like David, but Clark looks nothing like David. Which is pretty cool.
Yep, emphasis on the Supergirl.
Also, can we talk about Mr. Terrific?
Terrific.
Finally, an awesome portrayal. First of all, shout out to Eddie. That dude has been putting in work for years,
Yep.
To see him in his, and to see how he was moving around with the special effects, just floating around. I'm gonna say this, man. Though, yeah, the special effects, they really it's officially caught up to the imagination, and it looked great. He looked great.
Not to shade on the Arrowverse, but now at least I was hoping to see how they that they were gonna braid his hair, and we got to see how the braids.
The thing was that we never saw Mr. Terrific flying. We never saw him on the show. We saw him a couple of times with orbs, but
that's why he had the chair. He would sit back in the chair, and they would braid his hair real quick, and then they would go into.
Come on.
Nah, it was great to see the
No.
like the just the representation of it all for all of us that want to see that on screen, of course. But he's like the Reed Richards of the DCU, bro. He's the smartest man alive. Like he's like that's why he's so like
Great
chill.
job.
It's like, dude,
I really want now.
you do you. All right.
So now, but now in seeing these characters and how he's done the job with this, like now I want to see a Martian Manhunter. You
Yep.
understand? Before I didn't want to see that. I was like, it's too grounded. It'll. Now I want to see that. I want to see. Now I also want to see the Wonder Twins. You understand? Like that kind of silly shit too. I want to see what you're gonna do with Martian Manhunter. Now I want to see the
I
Supergirl
can't
story.
I
The
can't wait to
Supergirl
see what they do with
story.
Hawkgirl. Let's give it up for fucking
Okay.
Isabel Mercedes.
Nathan Fillion in the universe, and excited to see him later on in the Lanterns
Hashtag
series.
full bowl cut. I almost went full bowl cut too for this, but
Metamorpho finally making his on-screen
finally.
like, what else? There was a lot of really cool things. And then again, seeing the mural, which a lot. So now, which definitely means Wildcat is out there in the timeline. So yeah, I'm excited about. And again, Peacemaker right there. See how all of this ties up, how all of that is going to tie up. There was all these visions at Marvel, which was great at one point because it was all being overlooked by Kevin Feige, but he's not a writer and he's a producer. Where at DC, Gunn is a writer. And he may not be putting the pen to paper, but he's controlling the stories moving throughout. So he's creating this world. And it's all going to be pretty much connected and then done in a really cool way through these different mediums, all these different movies. Now I'm really excited about what they're doing because they even connected Creature Commandos. Everything's connected now. And I feel like everything's connected now. Everything's been referenced in other things,
So much world building was done in
yeah.
just a couple of key
Yeah.
established moments.
Yeah. And
Without having to say
and
it.
we didn't have to have somebody, opening a file in a computer, showing you the Flash, showing you you know what I'm saying? What I mean? Like trying to make an origin story out of nothing, and rushing it. I think this is great. Now, now I wouldn't be like, okay, and it totally makes sense.
And
The
it
Batman,
allows Superman to become an icon that people establish to
but
before.
check it out. Now the Batman of this world can't be. It has to be a bold and brave Batman. It can't be a
he can't be
Dark
as dark.
Knight, right? So it has to be a bold, brave and bold Batman, right? So now we're gonna get a little bit of a more of like maybe a not campy because that's what tends to happen when they do it. But I think we're gonna get a little bit more of a he's
But
part
like
of a team, not so
just
many.
like how
Yeah,
like how The Last of Us, you have this older guy with this younger person, and it's like, okay, all the gully shit happening. So it's like it's much more believable now. You're not gonna start as young, but like even if you like I just really want them to do it justice, and I hope I know
he's
he
gonna be a
will.
team. He's a team leader. He's gonna be a team leader, and also by the
They've
looks of it,
established that he's been in operation for over 12 years, just
right,
and so it's like, okay,
and
this is a
also
Batman who has been through three
so he's gonna
Robins.
be right. So he's gonna be a little bit older than Superman. So when they meet, right? First of all, it makes sense now that the bold and the brave Batman meets this Superman. Like they should be in the same planet. But it
And
also feels
they've
like he's
already
gonna
met. There's not he's even speculated. There's not to say that they haven't even that they've never met before.
correct. Because Superman can do whatever he wants. But what I'm saying is when they bring that to the screen, I also believe like and he may not have the dark colors, but it's not gonna be about him being like the Dark Knight and working alone in the darkness. Is going to be about how he leads the team, and more of the team leader in the team group thing,
Yeah,
So
and
that's going to be fun. And also, they're going to look. There's plan for Teen Titans, which means already developed Darkwing. All these, you know what I mean? It's not going to be things that start from the beginning.
when there's trouble, you call DW. Nightwing, motherfucker. Put her... Nightwing, not Darkwing, motherfucker.
Oh, sorry. Oh shit. Got me dang.
But I just love that there's just already established like all these other lores that have are already rich tapestries in their own right, and all these things that have already been influenced by each other. So it's like,
Yo, and then
what?
so Justice Society movie is gonna fucking be like not an origin story, but is gonna tell that story in that timeline without it having to mess up what's going on in the future and live in its own thing and be
Yeah.
canon to what it.
Even like the properties that they're even speculating on doing now, like you have the Clayface movie that's going to be like a body horror thing, and there you have Swamp Thing. They still want to get off the ground. I've never been. I have a love hate relationship with Swamp Thing. I love to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I always wind up hating
I think
it.
they're gonna throw him though. I think he's gonna be first introduced. They're gonna test it out by throwing him in a movie with somebody else, like in another, and then
We'll
like as
see.
another, you know.
They were talking about the Authority that got pushed back, but at least with the, but
Because
at least
she's now writing the Wonder Woman movie.
yes, and but I cannot wait to see what they do with Supergirl. It's already done. It's already in the can. It's already about to be released.
Lobo.
Lobo, or like Jason Momoa was always meant to be Lobo, and
And the fact that she's like this rebellious chick, you know, how they sold her out to be in the movie, the
she's
Superman
a
movie.
party girl. I like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like my Francesca said, she's stoned all the time. She's stoned. I don't know. She just shows up stoned. And it was like, no, bro, she's drunk because she can go to the bread planet where she can get drunk and she's
Yeah.
being young.
Or she was smoking that green that red kryptonite.
She's stoned all the time drinking kryptonite.
You
You don't even saying it
know,
right.
kryptonite. No kryptonite. But what about kryptomoro? I don't know.
So yeah.
But I cannot wait to see what they do with Supergirl. That's gonna be great. And I tried so hard, but did not get so far with the Supergirl movie from the 80s. And like I tried to watch
Have you
it. And
seen it?
I tried so hard, but did not get that far. I couldn't.
You didn't
I
smoke some
couldn't.
really good shit and get through
I
it.
tried. I was like, oh my god, this is so dumb. Oh my
So wait,
god.
so
Why
the
are they fighting in a lake? How did they teleport? What the fuck is going on?
Farrah Fawcett, who no,
No. It's
Faye Dunaway is the villain in the movie. Who I used to water her plants.
yes. And Helen Slater, that's who
Ellen
is
Slater, who's not
Helen
related to
Slater.
Christian Slater
Or AC Slater.
or AC Slater. No. Or
Or
now
is
is
she?
or now is in laters.
Or Slater Wilson.
Right. Right.
But I tried so hard to get through it. I'll give it another go
Well, I was such a
before
DC and so thirsty for it. What year was that? 84?
84.
Okay. I was
And it's super
5.
long. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes,
Yes,
bro.
yes. And I remember not understanding a lot of it. But just
But
knowing
like,
that Supergirl was fly as hell because it was Helly Slater, aka Billie Jean. Because she came out with Billie Jean like 2 days, like a couple weeks, that was her next movie. But anyway, I just remember seeing Helen Slater and just being like, yo, she's freaking hot, and it's Supergirl. And it's the first Superman movie that we've gotten since Superman 2 or whatever it was.
yeah.
So yeah, I just remember really like highly anticipating it being on HBO.
Mia Farrow.
Being
Wow.
like 6 I was like 6 years old when that movie came out.
Yeah. I was 2.
So I saw it on cable by the time I was
I saw it on
7.
Channel 11. It was
Even
one of those
worse.
movies that was always on Channel 11 or Channel 9.
Yeesh.
Before Channel 11 was the WB
Yeah.
and the CW and all that shit.
WPIX.
It was just WPIX. They always used to show those movies. And then if not, it was WW or Honeymooners on
Marathon New
New Year's.
Year's, and the Yule log on the 25th. They used to do the Yule log.
But you know, it's so hard to get through, but I'll finally have to stop off at Super
God
Mario
bless.
World
I just rewatched the animated Batman animated series.
Fantastic Finesse.
Yeah, the whole series. I hadn't really but I watched it like with a keen eye. I watched it like differently before. Right now I'm watching I'm also watching Brave and the Bold and the Brave series. Brave and the Bold and the Brave and the Brave. And
I
then
like that dude. I like him.
Diedrich Bader. But I also started watching the Batman series that ran
Batman.
The Batman, is that the one?
With the Batwave and the Rasta Joker?
Yes.
Ross the Joker. Good old Ross
I'm
the
enjoying
Joker.
that one a little bit. It's a
It's
little
good.
different
It's
take.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when they flesh out the Bat family.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good. It's cute.
I'm not even there yet. I'm still in I'm still in the first season.
But like Superman eventually comes in, and they expand the universe
His
a little bit. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. His best friend is the cop and
Yeah,
whatever and all that shit. Okay.
It was solely based to sell toys. Like a lot of that shit was crazy. But it was good. It was good. Like they had the Batwave, and I like the Bat Tech. Like the Bat Tech was really dope.
Yeah.
But it was good. I like that's a low key one that slept on. But
So
like
yeah,
he's
so
also a good one.
I really liked how they were telling that story. I hadn't watched that one, so I'm watching it now. So yeah, and that's my DC stuff. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is like one of few occasions where me and Jerry are in the same place at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit, this is gonna go over the episode.
It's like Earth 2 and Earth.
It's like Earth 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the same fucking time. So first of all, shout out to the Latino Film Festival. Calypso. If it wasn't for you, so many of us wouldn't have met each other. And for that, we thank you. We out here. We love you. And all new shit coming soon. Bye.
Listen up, geeks from around the mundo. All them other commentators know it's tan profundo. Everybody say the same things. All that there is mad lame. Never been together from the city that been bat bang. Everybody on the
We
streets.
the LatinGeeX.
Everybody on the
We
streets.
the LatinGeeX.
Comics, movie,
We
TV.
the LatinGeeX.
All the content on your
We
screens.
the LatinGeeX.
New Eureka
We the
Nightwing.
LatinGeeX.
Robert Reels, that's me.
We the LatinGeeX.
Jerry
We
DIAZ.
the LatinGeeX.
Everybody on the team. Somos LatinGeeX.